While health programs collect a lot of information about diseases, treatments, and outcomes, measuring healthy behaviors is often much harder. Take physical activity, for example. How would you know whether people are actually being encouraged to move more? How would you collect that information? And if you wanted to do that in DHIS2, what would that look like? That's what we're going to explore today. Hello everyone, my name is Maya Miko, and I enjoy making data easier to understand. Many of us spend a lot of our days sitting. We sit in cars, we sit at desks, we sit in meetings, we sit at home. And over time, that lack of physical inactivity has serious consequences for our health. Physical inactivity has been linked to a range of non-communicable diseases, including hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Because of this, promoting physical activity has become an important part of public health programs around the world. But here's the challenge. While it's relatively easy to count the number of patients diagnosed with the disease, measuring behaviors that happen before disease occurs is often much harder. So, let's suppose a health program wanted to understand how many people were more physically active. Perhaps some patients are being advised to aim for 5,000 steps per day, others 7,500, others 10,000. How would that information be collected? How would it be reported consistently over different locations? And how would program managers turn that information into meaningful insights? This is where aggregate reporting comes in. And in DHIS2, one of the primary tools used for aggregate reporting is called a dataset. In this video, we're going to build one from scratch using a simple physical activity reporting scenario. So let's dive in. All right, first things first, we need to pay attention to what's in front of us. We have a GitHub repository. I've created one for us in the description section. It has an image and it has two different CSV files, one called category option template, the other data element template. These are the different files we will use to create our category options and also our data elements. And we have an image here that we'll use as a reference to get us to create a physical activity prescription monthly report, right? So keep that in mind. So we have an image here and we can use this as something to aspire for. The good thing about having an image like this is sometimes when you're creating an electronic form, you need to see what can be done differently or what can be done better. But in this case, we'll see if we can follow through with exactly what's in front of us. So we have organization unit, we have reporting period, we have three different sections as well. Section A, which is patient registration, and under there we have a particular variable which is called total NCD patients registered. This here is an indicator. Next we have section B, which is step prescriptions, and we have different things here. Here we have what you call an age group, and this age group here is a category, and we also have gender, which is also a category. Usually when you're working in DHIS2 instances that have been there for some time, gender should already be there, or it might be referred to as sex. We have step prescription, 5,000 steps per day, 7,000 steps per day, and 10,000 steps per day. These three here are our data elements. So the male and female are our category options, and under 18 to 45, over 45, these are the different category options under age group, which is something that we'll try and create. Section 3 here has follow-up indicator, which is the number of patients still on 10,000 steps per day this month. This here is also an indicator. So we have a combination of things here. So we have data elements, we have category options, we have categories, we also have category combinations, and we also have data elements. Aside from that, we have organization units and the reporting period. And in DHIS2, your what, where, and when are cardinal. Very, very important. Your what is what you're measuring, which we have here, our data elements. Our where is our organization unit, where this is being entered from, and we have the time, which is when. So we need to keep those things in mind. So we'll be working with this particular GitHub repository. So clone it, and you can start working with it. So this is the file I'll be working with. So I'm just going to move it down, but I'm going to open the category option template, and that's the one that we'll start by creating. Okay, so it's open. It's right in front of us. I'll increase it a little bit so it's a bit more visible. So we are trying to create our age group category. So first we need to create our category options. So we have under 18 there, and I'll copy it, paste it under short name. We have 18 to 45. We'll copy it, paste it here. We have over 45. Copy it and paste it. We're using this method just to show you that if you're working with lots of category options, you can create them this way. And even for data elements, we use the CSV way of importing the data elements, especially if you're working with a large data set. So just to give us some understanding there. So I'm going to change the name of this to age groups, and I will save it. And what I'll do in advance is I'll create our data elements. We are very familiar. We already have in our DHIS2 instance, which I'll show you in a bit, we already have male and female there, so we don't have to worry about this. So we're going to create all our metadata, or at least most of the metadata we can create using a CSV file. We'll make sure that it's ready. Then after that, we'll start creating our data set. And after creating our data set, we can then see how we can create these various indicators. So next is creating the data elements. So I'm going to open the data element template, and I'm going to increase this again. Next is typing in step prescription. I will copy that, or we'll find another way of copying it, 5,000 steps per day. So yeah, I can drag this to there. And for the second one, it will be 7,500. Oh, we need to put a 5 there, and the 7 here, and the last one is 10,000. So I just need to change the 5 to 10, and I'll just copy them and put them under short name. And if we expand them, this is what it will look like. Okay, I will copy this, and then I will say save as, and we're still saving it as a CSV, but in this case we want it to be step prescription or step prescript, and I'll put an underscore there, and then I will save it, and we are done creating the metadata for the CSV imports. Now we need to do the import itself. So I'm using DHIS2 version 42 as our instance of choice. So I'm going to search for import export application. Remember, that's where we import our metadata. So under the import section, we're coming to metadata import. We're going to upload file, and we have additional CSV files instead of us just having the 2. So we can start with age groups and make sure that the format is CSV. First row is headers, and this here is our category option. So we specify it, and we start our dry run, created the 3, and then we start the import. We are done. We can clear our browser cache cleaner. This is just to make sure that when we're using our DHIS2 instance, we see the latest metadata and also data. We'll go and also create our data elements in advance. So when we go to our maintenance application, we just stay there. So select CSV again. We want to upload the data elements file. So I'll come here, data elements step prescript First row is header, that is a prerequisite. What we want is data element. I can search for it or find it there. As I scroll down, I can go to start dry run. It creates our 3 data elements. It shows the logs in case you're interested to see what's happening, at least at front end perspective. And then we can start our import. It's completed, right? Great. Now we'll do our browser cache cleaner once more, just to make sure that we're working with fresh metadata. Once I do that, I will go to the apps menu, and then I'm going to our maintenance application, right? So something important to mention here is we need to we have created our category options, which is under 18, and we need to create what you call a category. Remember I said we'll see if male and female is there, and if the category gender is there. This is our time to check. So under this, we'll go to category, and under category, because we have category options, keeping in mind that these things build on each other, a combination or groups of category options form a category. Categories, one or two categories, or yeah, two categories form a category combination. So in this case, gender and category and age groups. Sorry, gender and age groups can form a category combination. So that's really the structure of how these things build, right? So let's search for gender. Oh, if you look there, it's already there, right? And remember I said female and male are already there, so we have them there. But if we searched for age group, which should be at the top there, it's not even there. And even if I searched for it, age group, it doesn't exist, right? So what we need to do is we need to create it. So we press the blue button on the bottom right corner, and we can call it age group. That'll be specific to what we're creating. We can leave out the description for now. This is a disaggregation. What we're looking for is under 18. We are looking for just a moment. We're looking for 18 to 45, which is here. And the last one we're looking for is over 45. And once we select that, if I delete the search there, we see that we have the 3 of them. So when I save, it creates the category there. Now, when we look at this, especially when we're dealing with data sets, when you're trying to create a data element always, especially when you're dealing with data sets, when you want to create something like this, you need to make them a category combination. And remember, a category combination is 2 categories together. So we're going to combine age group and gender to form a category combination. So, and when we're looking at our data elements, we'll see that option there. So here we have our category combination. So I select it. Then I want to create a category combination, which I will call age group and gender. And the reason for that is because when you look at the image, it has age group first, then gender. So to make a lot of sense when we eventually get to the data set that we'll be creating. So it's already showing that the data dimension type is disaggregation. We want age group first and then gender. So we're combining these 2, and then we'll say save, and it creates it there. So we are done with our category section. Next, we're going to our data element section. So with our data elements, if I type in step prescript, we have our 3 different data elements right there in front of us. So we'll start with any of them. I can start with the one for 10,000. I will copy the name Keep in mind that different naming conventions, this may not be the best way to name data elements. I know that there's some people who use initials, so I could actually use SP 10,000 steps per day if you wanted to do that, especially under short name. But just for the sake of showing you how to create something, like how to create a data set from scratch, we'll leave it at that. It's very important for us to put the form name because that's what will appear in the data entry form when we're looking at it. So I'll paste that there. Aggregation domain type should be aggregate. Value type should be number. I'll change this to number for now. And then here we have category combination. So this is what I was referring to. And the category combination we want is age group / gender. Once we do that, we are good. Feel free to explore the other details there, but I'll save it. I'm going to move now next to the 5,000 steps per day. I'm going to copy that form name, and I am changing this here to number. And then our category combination, remember, age group / gender. I'm going to save, and the last one is the 7,500. Form name, I'm changing this. Value type, I'm making it number. Category combination would be age group. Okay. Wonderful. We are done creating our metadata, at least the initial part of the metadata. Now comes creating the dataset. So firstly, we'll create a dataset, a default dataset, and then we'll make it into a section dataset. The image that we have here is divided into sections. So our goal is eventually to get to a section dataset, but let's first create a default dataset. So if you wanted to see other datasets, you can click here and then you can see them, or we could have pressed the plus button and then got the dataset there, but yeah, we'll just do it this way. So I will do that. I will call it, we can get this name here, Physical Activity Prescription Monthly Report. So we'll call it Physical Activity Prescription Sorry, not very good at this. Prescription monthly report. Short name, I'll just break it down to initials, okay? Yep, so that's a prerequisite. Expiration date, I'll leave it at 0 for now. Yeah, these are very important if you wanted to close the data entry window. If you didn't want people to enter it past a certain period, it's important that you can specify the expiration date. Remember, the period type is monthly. That's what we're interested in. Category combinations, we can specify if we wanted to. If we wanted to add other things, you know, if you wanted to add, like maybe it's a particular project that's carrying out this this intervention, we can specify it at that level, but we won't be doing that in this case. And there are all these other details that we can add, right? Legends, and there is a place for them. So here, what we want under data elements are the steps, right? Steps prescription. Fortunately, they're like that. I'll add them in the order they should be in. We could create the indicators, but let's first just see what the default form looks like. Then we'll create our indicators. So right now, there's nothing that we're going to select. I will put this, I'll put the data set at not the first level, which is, I'm assuming it might be national level. The different hierarchy levels here but I will put it at this level here. Yeah, I'll just click those two. Actually, I can click those two. So for two different locations. Right, so we've entered everything for now. Let's save. So at least we'll look at it as at the default form level. Then we'll create our indicators. And then after creating our indicators, we'll change it from a default form to a section form. So good practice. Make sure you clear your browser cache cleaner so you get fresh metadata. So what we want to do is find our, if you want, you can just type in not data entry. It'll bring, you can do it that way actually. Yeah, you type in data entry. And when you type in data entry, it brings the data entry application from this form. So choose a data set. Remember, it's called physical. So you see, it's not appearing here, right? And the reason for that is because we haven't given a user access to the dataset. So if we go back to our datasets and we come to physical here, if you come to our ellipsis here, which shows actions, if I click it, we have what you call sharing settings. Under the sharing settings, we have public access. So it says anyone can find and view and edit, right? So this is what it's supposed to do. This is what this option can do. So it's one thing to be able to edit and view it, right? But it's another thing to enter data. So you want to be able to capture data. So to see it, we can say can view and capture data. And then once we do that, we can close it. Just a good rule of thumb, you can either do a hard refresh by selecting Control R, or yeah, the old school clear your browser cache cleaner. Then next is data entry. All right, choose our data set. If I type in physical, there you have it. So just that one setting under the actions is what gives you the ability to see the data set you're looking for. All right, so organization unit, remember, the thing that I like about the new data entry application is you won't be able to see, so it's even saying data set not assigned at this organization unit level. So if I come here and you see that these are a bit more bolder, like they're a little more blacker than the grayed out. So if I click this here, and if I choose a period, so let's say June, we can see we have a default form. So if you're testing this out and just want to see if you can enter data, there are things like that. So something that's really, really cool about this is it also shows you that we do not have access to enter data. So for this category option combination, we need to be able to grant any user or a particular user group access. So that's helpful to know. So in this case, let's go back to our maintenance application. We'll grant the user access, we'll create our indicators, and then we will try to customize our data set. So we go to category, we come here to category, in this category group, we come here to sharing settings, similar to what we did. We want to be able to view and edit. Okay, so this is fine. Let me see something. All right, so the actual category combination, so under, yes. So in the data entry form, we are going to be entering under 18 female, under 18 male, 18 to 45 male, 18 to 45 female. This is where we're going to be entering the data. So it's important to look at these details here, right? But it's showing no access, so no public access, right? So if we come here to category option, what are we searching for? Yeah, under 18, come to sharing settings. We need to make sure, there we go, under 18, can view and capture, can capture and view, sorry, not can view and capture. We close that there, 18 to 45. We check this, we change this. Yeah, as I said, depending on if you have like a user group, if we had a user group, we could actually search for them here and grant them access. Then we have over 45, sharing settings, can capture and view, and we close. Okay, so we have done our category section, right? Now let's move to creating those indicators that we mentioned we would create, and we will then create the section form. So remember, indicator is a combination of data elements. So the indicator that we want to create is called total NCD patients. Sorry, not that. Patients registered. Yeah, just registered. Yep. Forgot an E there. Registered, right? Short name, I guess I'll just copy it for now. Indicator type. Right now I just want it to be a number, right? So number. We don't need a legend right now. Every indicator has a numerator and a denominator. We're not going to do any division for this one, so I'll just put it as 1. So that's what we'll do. And then the numerator here is the total NCD patients registered, right? And it's everybody. So if I type in steps, right? So we have this general total, right? Total patients registered. So this one here combines everything. This is a bit more granular for each and every age. So if I just get, like, for example, sorry, I made a mistake there. If I click, this is both for male and women. Yeah, I guess male and female. And just to show you, if I added this here, it just adds the category combination. So this is how DHIS2 interprets it. When I scroll down here, it even says step prescription 5,000 steps per day. If I add that there, I'm looking for the 7,000 steps. That's the wrong one. 7,500 steps per day. And if you scroll down there, it shows valid. And the last one is 10,000. Great. We have all of them, right? Cool. So if I say done for now, I can save it. I will go say total steps. Oh, yeah. I want to create the last one, which I'll clone, and I'll say number of patients still on 10,000. steps per day this month. I will reduce the length and I'll leave it as number. And the denominator is fine. It's the numerator that I need to change. The numerator is just people who have done 10,000 steps. So if I look at this, I can just end there and then I can copy this. So let's test this one out. If it doesn't work, you'll have to manually add each and every data element plus the category option combination. So, but yeah, we'll explore that properly. Let's go to dataset. And we want to search for the physical. Yes. Let's add the indicators first. So I'll come here and under the indicator section, I'll type in this one and then also total and CD. Right? So let's add them. I'll save it. And now under our actions, under our ellipsis here, we have what you call design data entry form and manage sections. What we want to do is we want to manage the sections. If you also see here, the form type is showing default, but we want to change it from default to a section form. So if I click manage sections, I can now specify different sections. And if we come back here, section A is patient registration, right? So let's create that. So I'm going to create section A, patient registration. Registration is giving me a hard time today. Oh, registered. There we go. And here, what we actually want, we don't want the data elements. What we want is we want total, we want this one. So I'll say save. Next is section B. So we have section B, which is step prescriptions. Here we want to show row totals, right? We want to show row totals. Something else that we also want to do, which will come, oh yeah, to come there. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll put 5,000 first, 7,500 is here. We can leave it, the pivoting options, we can leave it as default, data elements as rows and categories as columns, right? But if you saw our default form, that example wasn't meeting what it looked like on the image. What we want is we want to see if the data elements, the categories can be the rows and then the data elements, the columns. So let's click that and then we can also do these other things if you wanted to. We can say save. And then the last one is section C, which is follow up indicator optional. And we will get this one here and we'll save it. Let's just make sure that section A has the indicator. Good. All right. So if I go back, it changes to section form, right? So our rule of thumb, remember, we clear our browser cache cleaner. We select all, clear all. We're going to go to our data entry application. Great. We'll choose our data set, which is our physical activity prescription monthly report. Our organization unit is at this level. We are choosing June and there we go. You see, very close enough to to what we were seeing, right? And here, if I type in 1, you see, it adds. If I type in 1 here, it adds. If I type in 1 here, we have a number there. So we have sorted out that issue where it was showing we needed to work on the category option combination. We have it there. So we're able to enter at this level. If I type in 2 and 1, the indicators are automatically adding. So even if I put 3 here, we see the number changes. You see, we had 12 there, and here we had 3, 1, 2, 3. You see, so we can add numbers there. You can put 12. For argument's sake, 1, 1, or 11. And we have numbers there. And yeah. And if you wanted, you can run validations, but generally this is how you create a data set, and this is how you change it from a default form to a section form. And yeah, we can keep on exploring these things if you wanted to. Now, a pro tip, this is something that you can do if you wanted to save something that you're working on a similar version. I would do this just as a demonstration. So if I wanted to download the dataset, I can export the dataset into a JSON file, which I can later import back into another DHIS2 instance, which is version 42. So if I come to dataset here, I have to, you can specify the metadata dependency export that you want. The object here that I have is physical activity prescription report, right? I can export it as a zip or uncompressed. So I'll export the dependency and I have it. So, and when next time, if we're working on this, we can easily import it and we can begin from there. So I will add it to the GitHub repository for you to have access to it. If you want to just import it into a version 2 or into Sierra Leone, you can do that as well. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening.